different detectives arrive to solve a mysterious case. A priceless painting had been reported as possibly fake, and the museum management was in panic. The first detective was a short, chubby man with a serious face and a magnifying glass always in his hand. He believed in careful observation and small details. The second detective was tall and thin, carrying a camera around his neck. He trusted modern technology and believed every mystery could be solved with the right tools. As they stood in front of the painting, both of them immediately began their investigation, but in completely different ways. The chubby detective leaned in closely, examining the brushstrokes, colors, and texture, while the thin detective started taking photos from different angles, zooming in to analyze later. The painting itself looked beautiful, showing a peaceful village with trees and houses under a warm sky. At first glance, nothing seemed wrong, but the chubby detective noticed something strange. The signature of the artist looked slightly off. It was almost perfect, but not quite. Meanwhile, the thin detective discovered through his camera that some parts of the painting reflected light differently, which suggested that newer paint had been used. This raised suspicion. Both detectives shared their findings, and for a moment they realized that even though their methods were different, they were both getting closer to the truth. As they continued their investigation, they began questioning the staff and checking records. They learned that the painting had recently been moved and restored. This opened up many possibilities. Was it damaged and repainted? Or had someone replaced the original with a fake? The tension in the gallery grew as more clues started to appear. The chubby detective carefully compared the painting with an old photograph of the original, noticing small differences in the trees and shadows. On the other hand, the thin detective used his camera to detect hidden layers beneath the paint, which revealed that another image might be underneath. Hours passed and the mystery deepened. Finally, they reached a conclusion. The painting was indeed a fake, but it was not a simple copy. It was a very clever forgery made by someone who had studied the original in great detail. However, they also discovered something shocking. The real painting was not stolen. It was hidden behind the fake one. With careful effort, we removed the front layer and revealed the original masterpiece. Safe and untouched, the gallery staff were amazed and relieved. In the end, both detectives realized that their combined skills had solved the case. The chubby detective's attention to detail and the thin detective's use of technology had worked perfectly together. The case of the fake painting became a famous story, reminding everyone that sometimes solving a mystery requires both traditional methods and modern thinking. And as they left the gallery, the two detectives smiled, knowing that they had not only solved the case but also learned to respect each other's unique abilities.
तुम लोग यहाँ तक पहुँच गए? अरे दरवाजा ये है। मोटू तोड़ दो ये दरवाजा। लगातार जो भागने की
In
कोशिश
a
की।
quiet art gallery, two very different detectives arrived to solve a mysterious case. A priceless painting had been reported as possibly fake, and the museum management was in panic. The first detective was a short, chubby man with a serious face and a magnifying glass always in his hand.
जिसने मुझे लिफ्ट दी थी
He believed in careful observation and small details. The second detective was tall and thin, carrying a camera around his neck. He trusted modern technology and believed every mystery could be solved with the right tools. As they stood in front of the painting, both of them immediately began their investigation, but in completely different ways. The chubby detective leaned in closely, examining the brushstrokes, colors, and texture, while the thin detective started taking photos from different angles, zooming in to analyze later.
तुम्हारा पीछा करेंगे।
फिर उसने तुम्हें लिफ्ट दी, वो तुम्हें यहाँ
The
छोड़ के
painting
भाग
itself
गया
looked
ताकि
beautiful,
हमारा शक
showing a
यकीन में बदल
peaceful
जाए
village
कि
with
तुम ही
trees and
चोर हो।
houses under a warm sky. At first glance, nothing
वो
seemed wrong,
आदमी जिसने लिफ्ट दी थी,
but the
जरूर
chubby
उसका इन बातों से
detective
एक
noticed
कनेक्शन
something
है,
strange.
वरना
The
अचानक कोई
signature
कार
of the
रोक के किसी
artist
को लिफ्ट
looked
क्यों
slightly
देगा?
off.
ये
It was
उसके प्लान
almost
का ही हिस्सा
perfect,
था।
but not
पर
quite.
हम अभी बड़ी आसानी से
Meanwhile,
अपनी
the
ट्रैकिंग
thin
डिवाइस की मदद
detective
से
discovered through
उसे
his
ढूंढ
camera that
निकालेंगे।
some parts of the painting reflected light differently, which suggested that newer paint had been used. This raised suspicion. Both detectives shared their findings, and for a moment they realized that even though their methods were different, they were both getting closer to the truth.
आइडिया, मिस्टर ट्रिवोल्टा, इस शहर में अंडरवर्ल्ड के लोग
As they
जैसे
continued their
स्मगलर्स, चोर,
investigation, they
लुटेरे
began
इस होटल
questioning the
में ज्यादा
staff and
इकट्ठे
taking
होते हैं।
records. They learned that the painting had recently been moved
अब
and
आएगा
restored.
मजा।
This opened up many possibilities. Was it damaged and repainted, or had someone replaced the original with a fake? The tension in the gallery grew as more clues started to
हमें नेचर की
appear.
पेंटिंग चाहिए।
The chubby detective carefully compared the painting with an old photograph of the original, noticing small differences in the trees and shadows. On the other hand, the thin detective used his camera to detect hidden layers beneath the page,
हमारे पास
which revealed that another image
वो
might
पहले
be
पेंटिंग तो
under.
दिखाओ। वाला, अभी आया।
Hours passed and the mystery
बारे में क्या
deepened.
ख्याल है?
Finally,
इसकी कीमत
they reached
$100
a
million
conclusion. The
only.
painting was indeed a
ये तो
fake, but
पीटर
it was
पिकासो की
not a
पेंटिंग का
simple
डुप्लीकेट है।
copy. It was a very clever forgery made by someone who had studied the original in great detail. However, they also discovered something shocking.
ओरिजिनल पेंटिंग में राइट बॉटम कॉर्नर में ब्लू
The
फ्लावर्स
real
नहीं है। ये
painting was
देखिए,
not
ओरिजिनल
stolen,
पेंटिंग
it
की
was
फोटो।
hidden
दोनों
behind the
पेंटिंग्स
fake
देखिए,
one.
दोनों में ब्लू
With
फ्लावर्स
careful
नहीं है।
effort, they removed the front layer and revealed the original masterpiece. Safe and untouched, the gallery scanned,
सिक्योरिटी मैनेजर नई पेंटिंग बदली हो तो
amazed and relieved. Detectives realized that their combined skills had solved the case. The chubby detective's attention to detail and the thin detective's use of technology had worked perfectly together. The case of the fake painting became a famous story, reminding everyone that sometimes solving a mystery requires
पेंटिंग भी ओरिजिनल जैसी ही है, कभी किसी को पता नहीं चलता। तो फिर तुमने हमें बुला के ये केस क्यों दिया।
The two detectives smiled,
चलेगी खबर
knowing
में
that
कि
they
कल
had
मिस्टर
not
जेलोवेंस्की
only
म्यूजियम में
solved the
सरप्राइज विजिट के लिए
case,
आने
but
वाले हैं।
also
वो दुनिया में
learned
पेंटिंग
to
के सबसे बड़े
respect
क्रिटिक
each
हैं।
other.
ओरिजिनल पेंटिंग को म्यूजियम में लाके रखने का टाइम नहीं था। मिस्टर जेलोवेंस्की की वजह से म्यूजियम में 24 घंटे तैयारी चल रही थी।
पेंटिंग के बॉटम राइट कॉर्नर में ब्लू फ्लावर्स मिस्टर जेलोवेंस्की की नजर से छुपते नहीं और तुम पकड़े जाते, इसलिए हमको बुला के केस दिया और खुद ये डिक्लेयर कर दिया कि ये पेंटिंग नकली है, ताकि तुम पे किसी को शक ना हो और मिस्टर ट्रिवोल्टा पकड़े जाए।
चार्ल्स! लेकिन तुम्हें कब पता चला कि पेंटिंग में राइट बॉटम में गलती से ब्लू फ्लावर्स बन गए हैं?
कल एक कपल म्यूजियम की पेंटिंग को देखते हुए बोल रहा था कि लंदन में जब उन्होंने ये पेंटिंग देखी थी तो राइट बॉटम कॉर्नर में फ्लावर्स नहीं थे। अब कहां से आ गए? ओरिजिनल पेंटिंग में ब्लू फ्लावर्स नहीं है।
हे चार्ल्स!
चार्ल्स, तुम ऐसे नहीं मानोगे।
आखिर पकड़े गए ना?
परफेक्ट प्लान था, लेकिन तुम दोनों को बुला के मैंने अपने ही पैरों पर कुल्हाड़ी मार ली।
पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी नहीं मारी, कुल्हाड़ी पे पैर दे मारा है।
मिस्टर ट्रिवोल्टा,
सर ये लीजिए आपकी पेंटिंग।
और ये रहा आपका मुजरिम।
मैं आपको जितना भी थैंक यू